So I heard we have Louis Tomlinson on the phone. Is that true?
Hello, hello.
Oh, my God, hi.
How's it going?
Then. Good. How are you guys?
Good.
We're great.
So, Louis, you probably don't even know this, but there are certain bands that Carla Marie, certain artist bands that Carla Marie and I look back at and we say, I can't believe I met this person basically when they started. And so Carla Marie and I used to be part of Elvis Duran in the Morning Show when you guys came over to New York. So I remember...
You were a baby.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
But you want to know the story that I tell people all the time?
Oh, God, no, don't tell him this.
Please tell me. I'm
So
excited.
I was in the bathroom waiting to go because I used to film all the interviews for Elvis. And all of a sudden, these 5 kids that I had never seen before in my life all storm into the bathroom simultaneously. And they're like pushing each other into stalls and playing games. And I was just like, these people are awesome. Who are these guys? And it was you.
Well, crazy. So we met in a bathroom of all places. Yeah,
We did.
Wow.
This is the most positive relationship that I've had meeting someone in the bathroom now. So how are you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy when we new music.
Yeah,
happy to be releasing, the announcement of the album and the tour. Yeah, I feel really good about all that.
How long were you hanging on to all of that, and then you finally got to let the world know what was going on?
Well, it feels like I've been hanging on since, I was used to in the band doing a tour a year, an album a year, so it feels, in my own head like I've been waiting a while. Even this latest single, we made it, I wrote it like 2.5 years ago.
Wow.
So I wanted to be further on in the writing process so I could release more music more frequently and then go, boom, here's the album. It's I feel good that I can finally, announce all this stuff that I've been sat on for ages.
So obviously the single, We Made It. You said you've sat on that for 2 years, you said, just now?
Yeah, about 2 years, 2.5 years, yeah.
Do you finish the song and then let it sit there? Or are you constantly going back like weekly, monthly, whatever it is, and saying, okay, let me listen again and see if there's anything I can tweak or anything I can improve on? Or do you just let it live on its own?
I think it's a fine line because you can definitely listen to stuff too much and then you kind of, you almost lose an opinion on it because you've heard it too many times. But I think, once I've written something, I'll probably give it a listen once every couple of months.
Okay.
Just to make sure it still fits in line with the stuff that I'm doing and I'm happy with it. So.
And the video for We Made It is so pretty. Where did you film that?
We did it, I think it was in Southend. Yeah, we did it in England, which is like a nice little seaside in England. It was pretty cold on that day, but it looks beautiful.
It does. Now I know, though. I'm going to look to see if you look freezing in any of the shots.
Yeah. My nipples are poking out the top.
Well, that's what they do with like swimsuit models a lot of times. They go in like these off seasons to the beach and they're sitting there in bikinis and it's like 40 degrees outside.
So, Louis, you're like a swimsuit model now.
Essentially.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Now, I have a note here that says you're releasing another song at the end of November, like right before Thanksgiving for us here. Don't Let It Break Your Heart.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I basically, because I'd spent so long kind of crafting this album, working on my sound and that, I wanted to increase the frequency of, the music. So basically, I think I've got a song. Obviously, We Made It's out now, and then it's Don't Let It Break Your Heart, and then I think maybe 6 weeks after that, there's another song. So really up in the ante.
So the vibe that I got from We Made It was, I don't want to say grunge because that's not exactly what I'm thinking, but it was kind of like 90s alt rock pop. Is that what you were going for? Because that's I listened to it. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
I'll take that. That sounds good to me.
Okay.
Definitely. I think when I came back with my single before this one, Kill My Mind, that was kind of a statement of intent musically and kind of statement of the kind of area I'm trying to get into musically. And I think, We Made It is kind of another example of that, really. Musically, it's important for things to feel organic and live and, so I can hear the guitars and that. So, I'm really happy with how it sounds.
Yeah, I think the feel of the song is it's kind of stripped down a little bit. It's kind of like it's raw-ish. I don't know if that makes any sense, but...
we're telling you what your song is like.
Thanks. Yeah. You're right, though. You're right.
But so the album is coming out at the end of January 2020.
Yeah.
What I love about what you've done on your own is you've worked with two of my favorite collaborators in Steve Aoki and BB Rexa.
Great people, great artists, yeah.
Just because I think they can take any artist and make them sound a way you've never really heard of them before. And I think that's what Aoki did with you. I think we probably weren't used to that sound with you. But with collaborations and with an album coming out, is there anyone you want to let us know you're going to be working with?
I think because I did that at the start of my career, as you say, with Stephen BB, which, amazing artists and proper grafters, two of them, really hardworking people. I think basically in my head, kind of a little bit of a word with myself, and I think it's more important that I build up an identity of exactly who I am. Because when I was featured on other people's records and that, it sounded more like their song than mine. So I think, I kind of got with the album just really stamp home who I am. So I haven't actually got any collaborations on the album.
Wow.
I think you've earned this, to be able to come out and show us who Louis is, and I'm pumped for this. But is the album actually coming out end of January, or are you going to pull a Kanye and be like, I need another month? Is it actually done?
It's absolutely, it's definitely done.
Okay, good.
We've already pushed it back a couple of times as it is, so that is staying where it is, and that is the day it'll be released.
Okay.
No Kanye stuff on this end.
So then obviously the 1D stuff, that happened. You guys did everything you did as a band, and it was wildly successful. Now on your own, especially with a song titled We Made It, what would it mean for you, when you look back and you say, okay, I'll make it, or I'll be content when this happens? What is that for Louis?
When we started with the title, and I thought about what does We Made It mean to me, and that success for me is the moment I step up and do that first tour show. Okay. And it's not, I wasn't even just speaking on behalf of myself. It's more of a collective feeling. My fans have been proper patient with me, really good people, and it's taken a bit of time. And as I say, they've been patient. So when I get up and I do that first tour show, we've all worked hard to get here, and they, they're so dedicated. They work so hard every time I have a single out, sending, radios, different little starter packs and stuff like that. They're so dedicated. So I think it's more of a mutual thing. When I get up there on that tour show, it'll feel like we've done it together, you know what I mean?
Aww.
That's awesome. And I know you're coming here, I think, into Seattle July 22nd.
Perfect time of year to be here, by the way.
And I know, listen, you are super busy. You have a million places to go. But I always said if I got to talk to anyone from One Direction, because I have this theory, and I need you to just hear out my theory for a second.
I'm excited.
Okay. So the Jonas Brothers, we just saw them come back together and have this wildly successful tour. And everyone was like, oh, this is probably the most successful reunion thing we've ever seen. And I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not asking. Well, I'm not asking you to tell us if there will be one. But my theory is if One Direction comes together, it'll be the first performance will be at Coachella, and it will be the best-selling tour of all time. True or false?
Do you know what? It's easier for me to say these things while we're on a break. I think you're right. It'd be absolutely massive, definitely. As opposed to, as to say to when or what. Yeah. I mean, it will happen. It will happen. I'd be really surprised if it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? I can't speak for all of us, but I would be really surprised if it didn't happen. And it'd probably be a big deal when we come back.
A little bit.
Yeah. Well, dude, honestly, it's always great talking to you. You always have a home here in Seattle. When you come through in July, make sure you stop by the studio. We'll make you breakfast or something.
We'll do something.
Sounds good. I'll hold you to that.
All right. Thank you. Good luck.
All right. Cheers.